As first light trickles through the branches, Jake greets this morning's group of pilgrims at the trailhead. Today she'll lead them out among the sky-high spires of Douglas fir and western red cedar, between granite outcrops plush with electric green moss, to the old-growth trees where Epiphany awaits. Given the forecasted rain, the dozen pilgrims are all swaddled in complementary leafskin, the shimmery yet breathable new fabric that's replaced Gore-Tex, nano-engineered to mimic the way leaves bead and repel water. Though the cathedral has issued Jake her own leafskin jacket, she seldom wears it for fear of damaging company property. She's already deep enough in debt without having to worry about a costly replacement. Yet, trudging through the drizzling rain that begins just after they set out on the trail, Jake wishes she'd made an exception today. Despite the liter of ink-black coffee she gulped before work this morning, Jake's hungover brain is taffy-like, and it throbs in painful synchronization with every step she takes. Though she's woefully unprepared for public speaking, once they reach the first glades of old growth, she begins her usual introduction. "Welcome to the beating heart of the Greenwood Arboreal Cathedral," she says in a loud, theatrical voice. "You're standing on 57 square kilometers of one of the last remaining old-growth forests on Earth." Immediately, the pilgrims brandish their phones and commence to feverishly thumb their screens. Jake never knows whether they're fact-checking her statements, posting breathless exclamations of wonder, or doing something entirely unrelated to the tour. "These trees act like huge air filters," she carries on. "Their needles suck up dust, hydrocarbons, and other toxic particles, and breathe out pure oxygen, rich with phytoncides, the chemicals that have been found to drop our blood pressure and slow our heart rates. Just one of these mature firs can generate the daily oxygen required by 4 adult humans." On cue, the pilgrims begin to video themselves taking deep breaths through their noses. While Jake is free to mention the Earth's rampant dust storms in the abstract, it's cathedral policy never to speak of their cause, the great withering, the wave of fungal blights and insect infestations that rolled over the world's forests 10 years ago, decimating hectare after hectare. The pilgrims have come to relax and forget about the withering. And it's her job, and jobs, she's aware, are currently in short supply, to ensure they do. Following her introduction, she coaxes the pilgrims a few miles west into a grove of proper old-growth giants whose trunks bulge wider than mid-sized cars. These are trees of such immensity and grandeur, they seem unreal, like film props or monuments. In the presence of such giants, the pilgrims assume hushed, reverent tones. Official Holtcorp policy is to refer to the forest as the cathedral and its guests as pilgrims. Knut, Greenwood Island's most senior forest guide and Jake's closest friend, claims that this is because the forest was the first, and now perhaps the last, church. Back when air travel didn't command a year's salary, Jake once visited Rome on a learning exchange and saw only curving limbs and ropey trunks in its columns and porticos. The leafy dome of the mosque, the upward soaring spires of the abbey, the ribbed vault of the cathedral? Which faith's sacred structures weren't designed with trees as inspiration?